I know it says cat nutrition, and I'm the cat person, but most of this information absolutely applies to dogs as well. But since cats are, you know, second class citizens and they're always low on the totem pole, I'm going to talk mostly about cats, but bear in mind that except for the few little metabolic tricks kitty cats have, that's all of this is certainly true for dog nutrition as well. So I'm determined to do the world's shortest lecture. There you go. Any
So
questions?
we're done.
We're done.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That's I thought that was the best picture in the world. Okay, so kitties are hyper-carnivores. They're not just carnivorous, they're obligate carnivores. They are really designed to eat prey that they just killed 2 seconds before, and that's, you know, their teeth and their jaws are designed for capturing little prey, or if you happen to be a lion, bigger prey. But the cats have, well, let me give you a little tidbit. The shortest GI tract in the mammal kingdom belongs to the vampire bat, because they drink blood and they get everything directly from blood. Cats, I think, are the second shortest GI tract. They are designed to get all their nutrition from their prey, most of their water from their prey. They're really, really designed to just do that. And I see a lot of people, you know, vegetarians and vegans, and I was one for many, many years. But then I got jealous of my cat's raw meat. But they have more than just taurine that they need. It's far more than that. They have many, many specific nutrient requirements that are associated with a prey diet, and they're just, we don't even know really what all cats need. We are in the very beginning baby steps of animal nutrition, let alone human nutrition, and let alone cats. Scientists love to think that they know everything. They don't know diddly. So, but we are going to learn now. So cats have very unique metabolism. This is also true for dogs and for humans. No requirement for carbohydrates, other than infants, which need lactose, which is provided in mother's milk. None of us need carbohydrates. The omnivores and the carnivores, we just don't need them. But cats specifically, everybody else can and usually does use carbohydrates for energy. Cats use protein and fat. They can digest and absorb carbohydrates, but they don't use them. And you can feed carbohydrates all day long, and cats will still use protein for glucose and fat for ketones. And all the organs except for the brain can use ketones directly. So cats are the original keto dieters. They don't alter their metabolism no matter what. And they have, therefore, a very base minimum protein. Technically, cats need twice as much protein as dogs, but then you look at cat food and dog food, and they're really only a few percentage points apart. So we are really doing a disservice to cats with commercial food, but you already knew that, right? So when we feed all these carbs to cats, they can use the glucose for their immediate energy needs. Like if they happen to be running across the savannah, they can use glucose for that. But otherwise, they store them as fat. Prey is, you know, about 50% protein, 40% fat, very little carbohydrate. There's a myth that the carbohydrate is in the form of the digesta in the GI tract. That's only partly true. There is blood glucose and there is glycogen in the muscles, and that is really where the carbs come from in the natural cat diet. And amazingly, if you offer cats a choice of any kind of all different percentages of protein, carbohydrates, and fat, they select something that looks exactly like a prey diet. Dogs don't, by the way. Dogs prefer a diet very high in fat, which is interesting because we have so ruined dogs that now you give them that much fat and they get pancreatitis. But the dog's natural diet is actually pretty high in fat. So cats are weird. My original title for this slide was Cats Are Weird, but they have very distinct food preferences, as I'm sure Perry will show up sooner or later and demand his food preferences. But they're formed very early in life. They're formed as kittens. They want to eat what their mothers eat. But when they're weaned, if you give them a wide variety of foods, they will develop more cosmopolitan tastes, which will be handy when you have, a blizzard or a hurricane, and the only thing you can get is, something off the 7-Eleven shelf. You want your cat to be willing to eat it, not that they prefer it, but it's better for them to be willing to eat a whole lot of different things. Now, there's interesting little tricks about this. Cats who have been raised on dry food, have not been exposed to other foods, they develop neophobia, which is fear of new food. And they actually do not recognize things like, steak or spaghetti. I had a cat that loved lasagna, one that loved asparagus, but they don't recognize anything but dry food as food. They don't even see it. They don't it's like, does not exist. No. So you really want to get cats to be, have a broader range of diets. We can feed them what's best, but it's nice if they will, eat a little asparagus now and then. Now, the monotony effect is seen when they gradually decrease the amount of food they're eating. Perry's real good at this. And they just kind of get bored. But the opposite is the novelty effect. And that's when you put a new food down and they are all about it. And the next meal, they're still all about it. You say, great, I'm going to go buy a case of this. They'll never touch it again. Works every time. So nutrition, of course, as we know, is the foundation of health. And what is the number one nutrition-related disease? Obesity. And this is very, very awful. It's an awful thing. Every year, every journal, every month, every year has had an article about our pets are getting too fat. And what has happened over the last 10, 20 years? They've gotten fatter every year. Now it's more than 60% of cats are considered overweight or obese by their veterinarians. Parents, the pet parents, they don't see it. Most people think their cats are fine. But, if the veterinarians are honest, they will tell you, no, they're too fat.